cinema.
Psycho Death Bot.
Happy New Year! Now if you're watching this video on New Year's Day, hopefully you won't have a hangover. Like me, I'm absolutely fine. But that's because this isn't a live video, and right about now I'm probably swearing that I'll never drink again while puking my guts up. Now funnily enough, I always swear that I'll never watch shitty films again, but I do. So Death Machine follows on in the tradition of those other death films I reviewed in the past, like Death Ring, Death Race 2000 and Death Warrant, in the sense that they're all absolutely great. So it starts with some ultimate soldier who likes to stand around punching walls, and that's about all he does.
The ultimate soldier.
A good ultimate soldier. So anyway, a bunch of goons have chit chat about meaningless bollocks, and this lady here goes along to see Brad Dourif in his secret little hideaway. Random shot of a Mum-Ra toy there from Thundercats, but you know, product placement and all that. So she finds Brad and they talk bollocks as well. Everybody in this film talks bollocks, and it's not productive bollocks either, it's just pointless bollocks. Cut to a bunch of what look like stoners sitting around smoking the stupidest looking spliffs in the world, and they're all talking about bollocks. Nah, they're talking about breaking into the top secret building just for shits and giggles. So it is bollocks. So Brad pops up once again acting like a complete loony, and then he just fucks off. He's so weird in this film, and his warped character pretty much sums up the entire lackluster storyline that's going on. Going back to the bunch of goons in their secret hideaway truck, and they're joined by an ice cream man. Now you might be thinking, why? But why not? You know, everybody's got to be something, so just fucking chuck an ice cream man in. And why does he have paint on his face? Is this what evil mastermind criminals do in their spare time? Just paint their faces randomly and dress as ice cream men? I also love the fact how they know what they're going to do, but sit there and tell us in detail just in case we actually care about their part in the story.
Bang, Kale and Ridley arrive. We appropriate their swipe cards. We also extract their D-lock sequences, but I think that you have got to remember that.
Whoa, great editing. It's like some random mess of lines put together. Kind of like a mashup of Uwe Boll meets Ed Wood, if you can even possibly imagine that. So just to prove these people talk bollocks, here's an example of it.
A quad matrix of Googleplectic memory co-processors and 350 billion in master software bonds. Aru-ha!
Oh yes, the joys of being a loser computer nerd are there for all to see. No offence to any computer geeks out there. So Brad goes to talk to this goon called Ripley. He's quite amusing and has some fun out of place eccentric lines of dialogue, and Bradley here tells him that he's invented something. So they stand around and wait for this something to appear. And then they wait some more. And they keep on waiting, and you know, this is ridiculous, but while this goes on, a cameraman is scurrying down the corridor showing off his fancy computer vision. Reminds me slightly of Carnosaur 3, you know, with the raptors seen in negative vision. Don't you just think bad films are cool?
How the fuck should I know? So what happens?
Hopefully, you die.
What?
Ooh, that's great. The acting in this movie ranges from poor to piss poor, and then there's Dourif, who just acts like a mental case to cover the fact up. Nah, I'm only kidding. Brad Dourif isn't a bad actor at all. He just appears in bad films and plays bad characters with bad lines. It's not his fault, is it? Just blame his shitty agent. So the cameraman goes on a game of Catch Me If You Can with Ripley, and eventually the robot catches up with him and it's apparently game over. Fucking dreadful sequence. But if you compare it to, say, this,
I get help.
it's not so bad. So the woman goes to seal the vault to stop the robot monster, even though it's already on the loose. Brad pops up from nowhere again and starts talking bollocks. He always just seems to be hanging around here, there and everywhere, not doing anything useful except to look demented. But that's Brad Dourif to a T. So what's his opinion on the death of Ripley?
I showed him my thing, and it killed him.
You showed him your thing. Is that a euphemism there, Bradley? Brad Dourif and his killer cock. One look and it kills you. He certainly wouldn't get his knob chopped off like that lad ass in Don't Open Till Christmas. Ha! You trying to cut off my cock? Ha! I'm Brad Dourif. One look at my thing and you die. So anyway, moving on. Brad decides he's going to shoot her here, but then the computer geeks walk in, which is interesting because I'd actually forgotten about them tossers, and they want to know where Ripley is.
Where's Ridley?
He's dead!
Tough bananas.
Why would he say that? But cheesy dialogue is just one of the many services that Brad Dourif will provide you if you watch this film. Like here, he runs away from the geeks who have cut through a vault, so you think he's about to escape, but no, he pops up wearing these. Now, by this point of the film, we've seen the death machine once, although we didn't really see much, and you'll be forgiven for thinking that this was pretty shit, because it is shit. So the tin opener on wheels appears and kills one of the goons somehow. It kind of looks like it blows him up, but it's not quite clear. And frankly, I don't care. Now, by this point, the film's quickly turned into Brad Dourif's lame comedy hour, except it's just embarrassing and it's not funny. And he's setting his death machine after everybody, although check out what he calls it.
Psycho Death Bot.
Brad Dourif's Psycho Death Bot. Whatever. It's as retarded as these assholes calling the fat guy Ho-Ho.
What about you, Ho-Ho? It's your problem, you deal with it.
Do you get it? Like Ho-Ho, as in Santa Claus, Father Christmas, cause he's a fat bastard with a beard. So they all pile into a lift, the woman punches Santa Claus cause she feels like it, and the Psycho Death Bot rips through the paper floor waving its puppet arms around before ultimately Santa gets killed by it, cause they fall out of the hole in the floor. No wait, I've got the perfect cry for falling down the elevator shaft.
Oh my God!
Classic. Now this tit with the paint on his face got stabbed in the leg and they need a bandage, so what does he do? Starts to have a wank in front of everyone. Nah, I'm only kidding, he's actually trying to pull his pants off. Which is just as weird. This film is stupid. And to prove it's stupid, here's Brad Dourif playing with old He-Man toys, Skeletor and that three-eyed fucker. So moving swiftly on, mainly because this is utter drivel, one of the random goons puts on a cheap plastic robot suit and he looks like a complete tool if you ask me. Kinda looks like Arnie there from the 6 Day poster. But he doesn't really do much, he just starts to go completely loopy and talks gibberish. Like, imagine Sylvester Stallone but even more senseless and you can only understand about 5% of what he says.
Everyone unit is safe! Do not endanger it! For potential second!
I like how he's all fucked up and crying and then pops up and he's back to his super android best there. Oh no, sorry, it must be like the ultimate soldier from the beginning. Can you remember that guy punching the wall? The film started off poor, but it tried on some lowly level to be serious and dark toned, but by this point it's just a slapstick comedy and it's cringeworthy to watch. This guy makes John the Mandroid from Eliminators look like the best thing ever. I'd love to see a fight between those two characters. I would die a happy man if I got to see John the Mandroid versus this guy. But I guess I'll just have to make do with the Death Machine and this guy, whatever his name is, I don't know. But I was expecting the Death Machine to be kind of destroyed after these two unloaded their super powered guns on it, and they don't even seem to run out of ammo at all. I mean, I don't expect realism here, but this is taking the piss. But realism for these characters would be to shout this at a robot.
Shoryuken!
Isn't that what Ryu says from Street Fighter 2?
Shoryuken!
Christ, I don't even care, so don't start trying to correct me like, no it's are you Ken or no it's sure you're Ken, because I don't fucking care, my name's not Ken. And cause this guy's a moron, he bangs his head, falls down and dies. But you know, you don't see him die, but you know, you got to use your imagination when watching shit low budget films like this. Or if you're going to use your imagination, how about a 2-second version of the film? Opening credits, it's shit, the end. So they run away and as you can guess, they get chased.
What the fuck is going on?
That's the $64,000 question, but who cares? So they get out of the building and then a stupid pig turns up and check out this Oscar-winning acting from all parties involved.
Bullshit!
You better call reinforcements.
You better shut the fuck up! Too bad!
Bloody hell. So the robot jumps down and kills the cop. It's just one perpetual game of cat and mouse that seems to go on forever. So they blow it up for the millionth time and it keeps on going and it looks like it's going to kill her unless by some miracle it stops right in front of her, but this isn't that kind of movie. Oh no, maybe it is, and who stopped it? Yep, Brad. Did you forget he was in this? Because I did. But that's probably because I was just so bored that I was reading the nutritional facts on the back of my beer can. So let's all rejoice in the fact that Brad's returned to the screen, but he gets the most anticlimactic ending ever. He gets punched into the vault with his robot, stands completely still while the door shuts, says "don't leave me."
Don't leave me in here.
The woman presses a button and, okay, a door that says containment. Is something exciting going to happen here? Yes? No? Maybe? Oh, look, it's finished. So it's a pathetic B movie, only worth watching for a few laughs. 3 out of 10.